So this little powerhouse is the world's smallest gaming laptop. And I don't know if I should just call it a gaming laptop because it does so much more. It's called the 1X Player X1 Mini. It comes with this keyboard and there's a trackpad on it. And so you can use this as you would any other laptop. And if you have a mouse with you, this thing will full-fledged do what you got to do when it comes to gaming. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to use it as a laptop. I can just take this keyboard off and it's a gaming tablet. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to go play some heavy hitter games, maybe like some Stalker 2. I put on these controllers and it's a full-on gaming handheld. When you put on the controllers, I feel like this handheld is freaking sexy. This thing looks so cool. And when you're playing on a game or you see the display in action, you're like, this is like, for me at least, this has got to be one of my favorite looks of a handheld that we have so far. This product was sent to me from Whatgeek. They don't even make the handheld. They're just a marketplace for these handhelds. It's a good place to go if you're looking for discounts or better customer service. And they also offer a lot of cool keyboards and accessories. So check them out. So here's the basic specs, ready? It's got an AMD Ryzen 8840U, which is just a step up above the AMD Z1 Extreme. And then this thing has 32 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of storage in this model in particular, and a 65 watt hour battery. So it's not the best battery, but it's good if you're playing at low wattage. Also, let me know what I can do to improve these videos. And you don't have to sub if you don't want to sub. You do you, it's your vibe. The big question is, does this thing play every game you throw at it? Yes, it does. I've been playing Stalker 2, and as some of us know, Stalker 2 is a heavy hitting game. Amazing game. Very scary and intimidating and immersive, but it takes a lot to run it. This is playing Stalker 2 at a solid 70 frames per second, like 65, 70, but it's like stable too, which is so crazy because on my RTX card, I'll fluctuate pretty heavy, but for some reason with AMD FSR and frame gen and all that stuff, I am playing Stalker smoother than I am on my RTX card, but obviously it's a lower resolution. I'm at 800p, which is fine for a screen so small. Same goes for Battlefield 5 in particular. I'm rocking a good 70 FPS. The latency is really good. Battlefield 2042 is a good 60. And of course, Half-Life caps at its refresh rate on the screen, so 144, but it could go up to 200 easy. If you take a look at the body of this thing, just the tablet within itself, it is giant. And take a look at the Legion Go in comparison with this thing. It's actually the same screen. You know, it's the same thing, but the body's different. So like look at the top, USB-C, USB-A. On the turbo button, I'll show you what that does. Power button, fingerprint reader, and then on the bottom, another USB-C, but then this is an Oculink, then a micro SD card, and then some speakers, which I really want to talk about after this. But so first, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons why I've been using this as a daily driver, and that is because of its Oculink support. This little knob right here, this little thing, you plug it in, and as you can see, I plug it in with my 4070. I have a whole video on that. I'm not going to talk much about it, but I just let it sit there and boom, like my desktop is freaking maxed out, dude. 32 gigs of RAM, 4070, 2 terabytes. Like it is a perfect gaming PC at this point. But again, you just unplug it and you're back to mobile. So the screen is the same screen as the Legion Go. I feel like it's the perfect size because, you know, it's like I'll play on my big old 34-inch 4K monitor, and then I'll hop on this. And honestly, if I'm being real here, a screen with this kind of size up close is that of that monitor. So it's like, it's just as immersive. Obviously, there's like performance degradation, but which I'll show you. But like at the end of the day, this thing is like playing with the home theater if you have headphones on. It's got the same resolution as the Legion Go, which is 1600p. So it's past 1080. It's a little too high of a resolution to run games at that, but it's there when you need it. For Half-Life, it's great. This thing can handle whatever it is you throw at it. So with the handheld as immersive as this thing, you need to have good audio. Audio is detrimental in your gaming experience. It determines whether or not you're in the world or playing a game. And I will say the audio on this device is probably the best audio that I've come across out of all of the handhelds. It's outperformed the original ROG Ally, in my opinion. They're incredible speakers. They really are. But there are some problems with this handheld, the software. So if I jump in here, as you can see, this stuff works really well. Like it's straight to the point. You know, you set down the wattage, it goes down. But what I've noticed is that controller support is kind of tough when you put on these controllers because there's no like gamepad mode and there's no desktop mode. It's just kind of mixed together. And so you might have to end up downloading third-party controller software to get, you know, your games to support the controller really well. But it varies on the game. Stalker 2, I had to do some dirty work. You know, Half-Life 2 just worked naturally, right? Battlefield, I had to do some dirty work. And another thing that I find to be pretty problematic for me has to do with the cooling. The fan noise freaking screams. It's not as loud as like the GPD Win 4. That thing is the kicker of all, dude. I mean, you're waking up everyone in the house with that one. But this one's quieter, but it's still loud, right? It still packs a punch. And you kind of have to be careful with the cooling because look, this is 2 weeks of use. And I actually blew on this really hard. I guess I should say that, but I cleaned these fans out. But you can still see they're accumulating more dust. They accumulate dust fast, so you have to be super aware of the input, right, of the fans. So let's talk about the battery real quick because, you know, this thing is a big handheld and it's packing a larger battery than the Ally or Legion Go, but not the Ally X, right? So you're getting better battery, but is it good enough? And to be honest, the answer is no. Unless you're playing at a low wattage, you could probably see about 2 hours of battery life, like 10 watts. But for the games that I play at least, which is Stalker, Cyberpunk, Witcher, Battlefield, the finals, I gotta bump this thing up to 30 watts to get the most amount of performance because I need that for those games. The battery just sinks faster than a rock in water. It's about like 45 minutes, 50 minutes of game time till it runs out. So that's just with those heavy hitter games. As far as the controllers go, they get the point across. So you can use them for anything. You probably wouldn't recommend these on the whole grand scheme of controllers. I feel like the joysticks are a little loose, but again, at the end of the day, it gets the point across. I can play whatever games I want to play. The D-pad's got a satisfying click to it. And if you look at the back, you've got these little buttons. You can just detach them whenever you feel like it. But it's a really cool concept. Another thing I'll mention is, for some reason, the Windows experience on this handheld has been very pleasant. I haven't run into a lot of these like Windows issues that I tend to get with the Legion Go. So I'll be honest here, when I zoom out and look at all the handhelds that I have, I feel like this X1 Mini, holy crap, there's even a bigger one, which I was like, nah, that's a freaking movie theater at that point. I feel like this is going to be my go-to till the new processors start coming out, right? The AI 870s and whatnot. Just because it's so decked out. 32 gigs of RAM, 2 terabytes, 8840U, Oculink, beautiful screen for when you need it. It is just there. It's perfect. There are those minor software issues, but I found a way around most of them. And to be honest, I prefer this over the Legion Go at the moment. Keep in mind though, the price difference is pretty drastic. This is a pricey little guy, so I feel like the Legion Go is better for his price, but if you really want that like extremeness, this thing is a really good product. Anything handheld, freaking whatever, just check the channel out. You know how it is. Ask questions if you want videos on certain things, drop them, comment, I see them. I can't reply to all of them, but I see them.